Pride. Pride is deep pleasure derived from one's own achievements. That's pride. And I'm going to park it here for a minute. Only I can fix this. Look what I have done. I can make it better for you. I is at the top of our government. The I spirit has metastasized, and there's a certain pride based on what the chief of I is saying in the White House. God sees it as a time of pride. And the reason he sees it as pride is because what is currently going on is antithetical to what he is declaring. He is saying, I am this and I am that. And the conditions of our nation, they are deplorable. Hatred is on the rise. People are dying. And you are stroking your ego. God said to me, he is mocking me. He is walking around in the midst of a plague that I allowed, however you want to put it. Whether God commissioned it or God allowed it, the fact of the matter is he's in control of its duration. All of the prayers being prayed, and certainly there are some righteous prayers going up. There are some people who are God-centered, who are filled with the Spirit of God, who walk a holy life. Their prayers are not moving the needle on this plague. Therefore, if God is not moving it after the convoking and the effectual fervent prayers that are being made, and the numbers continue to tick up and up and up, God, by extension, is allowing this thing to be. And he said to me, this thing is covering the entire globe. And like a peacock, he is strutting in front of me like this is no big deal. He's called it fake. He's called it a ploy. He is disrespecting God. Most folks know when trouble comes, you put your helmet on, you try to figure out how to save yourself, and you try to figure out in the case of this kind of idea, did I do anything wrong? Even Abraham Lincoln understood that the Great Civil War meant that America needed to check its soul, and he called for a fast. That's why we have Thanksgiving. It wasn't for eating. He called for a fast day to give God thanks for what you have and to pray against this division in our nation. Every leader, every president that was faced with deep turmoil, massive sickness, and hunger humbled themselves. Even though they didn't understand it, maybe did not give God credit for it, they knew that personally pride had no place when darkness was on the face of the land. But this man, God said, is strutting like a peacock, like nothing is wrong. Everything is okay. It's a deep pride. Even now, he declares, I can fix and I can do. And the Lord said, the only reason he is strutting now is because I haven't touched the last rail. He says, but I'm going to touch the last rail. That rail is the economy, his money, his wealth. He is strutting, ironically so, because while all else are needing a stimulus, his pockets are growing fatter by the day. He's increasing. I would love to know how much he has increased since he's been in the power of the White House. But he is strutting. And God says, because he's like the rich man that says, I will tear down my barns and build bigger ones because I'm increased. But the Lord said, I'm going to touch the economy. I'm going to put my hand on it. And I'm going to break that proud spirit. It was the same spirit that the tribe of Israel had. They were selling people for silver and for a pair of sandals. Translation, they were profiting off the brokenness of people. They were profiting by selling them and getting what they want. There was no empathy. There was no compassion. Do we not see that now? That's what's going on now. But do know, the Bible says, don't be deceived. God is not mocked. That whatsoever man sows, that he shall also reap. And the Lord said, the only reason he is strutting now is because I haven't touched the last rail. He says, but I'm going to touch the last rail. That rail is the economy, his money, his wealth.